Hey, this is Rob again. For this demo, we're going to basically, demonstrate a kind of hierarchical storage management, tiered storage scenario. We can do this a lot of different ways with StoragePoint. Once we have the content externalized, we can have, different scopes associated with, or different storage profiles associated with different scopes. And as, document moves from one, site collection to another, from a site collection to a record center, we can move that content if it has a different storage profile associated with it. What we're going to focus on today is we're going to show you a programmatic way to do that. So, we expose APIs that allow you to do that programmatically. And you can take this code and plug it into a step in a K2 Black Pearl or Black Point process. If you do one of those little server blocks, you can. We're actually going to prototype an event template for that, so you can just drag the event template onto the canvas and wire it up that way. You could take this code and plug it into a policy action for information management policies. You can put it into a batch job. So we're just gonna, I wired up just a down and dirty event receiver here. It's gonna key off an item being updated. It's going to look for a status property. If it finds one and the status is closed, paid, or completed, it's going to take the item and move it to, it's going to migrate it to a different location using this policy, this storage profile. So if I go back to my storage profiles, I've got the original one that we've used several times, which is just a using our file system adapter, writing out to a local file store. Nothing special about that one. This one is what we call a no scope or scopeless profile. It's not tied to a web app, a site collection, a record center, or anything else. It's kind of a floating storage profile, if you will. This one's tied to our Rackspace adapter, our Cloud Files adapter. Though what we're going to do with this is whenever we go in and change the status on one of these invoices, it's going to trigger our event receiver. Our event receiver is going to pick the document up off the file system and move it to the cloud. In this case, Rackspace is cloud storage service. Again, you can take this and put it in a workflow, rules engine, things of that nature. So I'm just going to go into one of these invoices, say edit properties, change the status to paid. I've got the debugger running here, so we can just step through the code. You can see it initiates our API, calls our migrate make blob feature, and we're done. Now if I go into my Rackspace Cloud Console here, you could see the file has been externalized. There's actually one out here already. I could do that again. Let's take a different one. Again, if I go look at the details on this one, it's sitting on the file system. Let's see. Now I'm going to move it. We'll say paid. Again, causes my event receiver to kick in. It's moved. If I go look at my Rackspace console, there's the new file. And if I go back and look at the StoragePoint details, you can see that the storage profile's changed. So it's still externalized, but now it's using a different adapter. You can see the connection string there. You can see that it's compressed, and it doesn't matter. So I've got some documents that are sitting local in this on my file system. I can retrieve those, and then this is the one that's sitting out on Rackspace. I can see those as well. So it just gives us a way, programmatically to move the content to less expensive storage or more compliant storage, depending on what the use case is. It's very flexible. Again, it's, strip away some of the SharePoint code. That's it. It's 2 lines of code to move that content from where it currently sits to another location. Pretty straightforward. So again, we'll do more on this as we develop some more capabilities. There'll also be some additional capabilities around this in our next release, later this year, early part of next year.